So in the last video, we have gone through understanding what tuple constructor is. So we are finally able to make changes in a tuple using the tuple constructor. So that means that we are going to be changing the tuple first into a list, then making whatever changes we want to make, and then using the tuple constructor like this one over here, we are able to change that list back again into a tuple. In this video, we are going to be completing the tuples. So let's get started. Now, there is another thing we can do. We can check if a particular element is present in the tuple or not. That is accessing the tuple. So I have a tuple here defined. I can just be like, if 4 in T print yes, it's printing yes. What if I want to say if 7 in T? Let's see. It should not print anything at all. Let's see what happens. It's not printing anything. You see, that is how we are able to check if the item exists in the tuple or not. What if I have 7 over here? Let's see, it should say yes again. It is saying yes. So far we are almost halfway through. We have understood basics of tuples. We've understood how tuple constructor works. We have understood the ranges and the indexing. Now we've also understood how to access items in tuple. Okay, let's move forward and learn something new. We are going to be seeing how to unpack a tuple. I'll tell you what that means. Let me define a tuple T. And I want to have the values, so green, yellow, red equals T. If I try to have quotation marks over here, then this would not work. Okay, this would just give me an error. So make sure whenever we are trying to unpack a tuple, we're not supposed to have quotation marks when we are trying to redefine a tuple. Once this is done, let's see what happens if I try to print red. It should give me the output as cherry. Let's see what is happening. I'm getting cherry. So what exactly is happening over here is when we are creating a tuple, packing of a tuple. Now what we are doing over here is we are reversing this. We are trying to extract the values back into the variable, and this over here becomes the unpacking of a tuple. You see, cherry, apple, banana. So that is what is unpacking of a tuple. Let's move forward, and we're going to be working with looping through a tuple. So if suppose I have a tuple, let's start with a very basic for loop. So I'm going like for I in tuple T print, let's see, okay, a spelling mistake, A B C D E, just fine. Now let's move forward and understand how range and length functions can be used. Let's work with the same tuple. So I'm going to go something like for I in range length of the tuple T, I want to print all of the individual items in the tuple T. So the output should again be the same as we had over here. Let's see, again the same thing. What is happening over here, which was different from what we were doing previously, was so this makes it much more simpler when the tuple is huge, because over here when we're talking about length and range functions, the iteration is going to be happening via the index values, via the index numbers. Now let's try using the while loop. So instead of for, we're going with the while loop. For that, I'll have to define I and set it equal to 0, or else I won't be able to use the while loop. Okay, while I is less than the length of my tuple T, so length of tuple T, print tuple T's individual items and iterate I. I'll show you what happens if I don't iterate I as well. Let's see what happens now. Let me clear the terminal and A B C D E. Now if I do not use this line, let's see what happens now. There is no end to that. So that is why it becomes important for us to iterate the value of I. If I were to have the value of I set to 3, suppose D and E, so it took the value of I equals 3, so printed out D for us, and then we had to iterate the value of I, so it iterated and the value became 4, and then E was printed. So we have understood how to unpack the tuples, we have understood how to access the tuples. Now we are going to move forward and understand how to join the tuples.